Would you believe me if I told you these were all different weapons? Well, of course you would. The third one has a little symbol on it, and the fourth one is just a little red. But the truth is, 3 of 4 of these are the hung jury. And I could have made all 4, as the hung jury has been reissued 4 different times in Destiny 2. But this won't be the main thing I'll be talking about. What I want to talk about in this video is the insane amount of times a gun has been reskinned into just something new, and how many times this has happened. And the big one that really made me think about this was when, in the final shape, when the Call rocket sidearm was introduced, it really looked like Vestian Dynasty from Forsaken. I decided to throw the 2 images on top of each other, and they are the same. It's the same base model. It is Vestian Dynasty. They just ended up making it a little fatter. And I got to thinking about the other rocket sidearm, a Baron Action, and that one is just the 7 Seraph sidearm. And the new Iron Banner one, Tanash's Mastery, is just High Albedo from Beyond Light. But that's not the only thing taken from Beyond Light. The new Ritual Auto Rifle that you could get this act is Arctic Haze. During last year's Festival of the Lost, a new shotgun frame was added, and the shotgun used for that gun is just Bone Chiller. Some, quote, new rewards were added to comp, but it turns out the riposte is, it's just Arc Logic from Shadowkeep, and the shotgun introduced in this act is Found Verdict from Vault of Glass. Crazy they did this with a raid weapon. Exalted Truth from Trials of Osiris is Annual Skate, and that one is just Nature of the Beast. But don't get me started on the Inquisitor from Trials. The Inquisitor is actually just Gnora's Axe, which is Legato 11, which is First and Last Out, which is Fortissimo 11, which is Good Bone Structure, and that one is Requiem 43. Did you get all those? Since I'm talking about Crucible and Trials, how about we do some Iron Banner? Lethal Abundance, introduced last act, is both Misfit and Ether Doctor from Forsaken. But sure, they're doing it for comp and some PvP modes. But actually all of Lightfall's weapons are just the moon weapons, but reskinned. And here's just a couple of those. Now this wasn't just a Lightfall thing, Episode Heresy does have a couple of these too, so I'm going to go over those next. The SMG this act is Pillager, while the Scout is also a Forsaken weapon, being Wrong Side of Right. The Rocket is Bad Omens, the Sidearm is just Smuggler's Word, while the Shotgun is the same as Badlander and Dustrock Blues. Up to this point, all of these weapons have either been primary or energy weapons, and that's because most of the heavy weapons are usually different, aside from pretty much the entire linear fusion rifle section. Like, it starts off with the Tarantula, and then it's the Man of War, leading into the Crooked Fang, then the Komodo, which is then also the Reed's Regret, which is Taipan, and that's the same as the Spectrum, which is also the Laser Painter, and finally, Scintillation. Now, I don't want this video to be me just shitting on how many times the same gun has been used. This game has some genuinely great looking legendary weapons, and in my opinion, Bungie has done a fantastic job creating most of them, but I feel that most weapons getting this reuse treatment are old Forsaken weapons that people will probably not remember and not know that the quote new weapon introduced is the same thing. If they do continue this trend, which I'm assuming they will, what's being done in Heresy and what has been done to the rocket-assisted sidearms is a step in the right direction, which is at least using the old models in a new way by giving them either a whole new frame or a new feeling entirely. In Heresy, the new healing auto is very similar to Breakneck and other autos like it, while the sword is Hero of Ages from the 30th anniversary. But the difference is, with the auto, it's a completely new frame. They've given it this whole bone aesthetic. It looks awesome. But the big problem with how they're currently reusing guns is how they don't feel different. I don't want to grind out this new gun for it to feel and sound like the other gun I was using 4 years ago. I think it's baffling how for Lightfall, every gun to come out of it was straight from Shadowkeep, and both Lightfall and Shadowkeep weren't received very well. It's almost like for one of the most anticipated DLC drops, we got the same thing that came out years prior. And the difference of how legendary and exotics are treated is huge. In Destiny, legendary weapons don't feel like anything special compared to other games. Something labeled as legendary shouldn't have 10 different copies of it. But what do I know? I'm still going to play. But let me leave you with one thing that is so outrageous, I had to save it for last. Are you ready? Necrochasm is the same as Husk of the Pit. Okay, bye. I'm almost at 1K. Thank you. I'll have more music stuff coming. Please wait. Bye.